Do you remember this old place? This is where we ended up last episode because I needed to use my looting sword to get lots of bones from our skeleton farm, and it's been a great success. And these are the bones that we get from just a single mob spawner, and with one AFK overnight session I was able to fill up all of these chests. So the question is this better than our other means of getting bones? And also, it's really nice to be back here. This was such a gorgeous build. So let's find out. On the left we have 12 full shulker boxes of bones, as we do on the right. These ones came from the traditional farm and these ones from the looting farm, and I spent much less time at the looting farm, so it turns out that one is way better for getting bones. And of course we need these to fill up our absolutely crazy smeltery system that we got going on here. I'm hoping today we can get it up and running, and we have more than enough bones here to do that. That being said, all 24 shulker boxes have been fully unloaded. And there was enough bone meal to fill this thing up all the way down to the end, and this battery here has been filled up several times, and it turns out that we do actually have some bone meal left over, but I have just been crafting a crazy amount of this stuff. Statistics, yes, I have a custom statistics screen and I can't find what I want, so let's go into here. Aha, look at this. We're going to approach 1 million by the end of the season, I reckon. And although we're using this bone meal for now, the idea is that our cactus farm will eventually just feed bone meal automatically into this. So, out here at the front, I have indeed been working on the aesthetics, and I have a couple of live streams planned, part of a Hermitcraft live stream weekend. This is a reminder to follow me over on Twitch, because when you're watching this video, those streams would have already happened. And what I'm saying is I don't want you to miss out on future streams, because I pretty much always stream here on Hermitcraft and we're always working on stuff you see in the videos. But my plan is to work on this area and then later in the video show you my grand vision for it all. As of right now though, it is indeed finished. You can see that the rail comes over here. It can pop the hopper minecart off with the cactus. It gets sent all the way along down this water stream and up the dropper elevator at the other end. Okay, you will never see what I just recorded because I managed to talk like a complete buffoon. I was saying we know how long this is going to take to smelt, and then as I threw in the items I kind of realised, no wait a minute, it's a bit more complicated than that, because it takes time for the minecart up here, then it's got to load, and although it'll sort of in one way take the equivalent of the time it takes for one item to smelt, right, it's got to get all the way down the end there, and this bit's really cool. Oh. Gotta love that. That's seriously cool. Now, I'm going to go into the editing and find out how long that took. Okay, it took 22 seconds, but I got a feeling for each stack that you add, it won't take quite as long, because there's like a bit of a startup time, and then the redstone circuit is going, and out comes the next hopper minecart, which you might have noticed, this one is going to trail with an empty one, which isn't really a problem. It's actually one of the quirks of compacting this redstone, is that it meant that the minecart hopper, the last one, would sort of go across with nothing on it. Alright, the furnaces unpowered, but also the pistons behind them fire as more bamboo is required. It's so cool, it's really animated. And do you remember last episode I talked about how I wanted to see into this farm? Well, this idea of sort of dropping down the middle came to me, and now I'm kind of remembering that, well, I sort of wanted to see the farm in action, and when you lower down you don't see as much of it. Oh, and here's the proof that it works, right? If I just click on here, you can see it's full of minecart hoppers still. So we are fully embracing the way that this drops down, and if you're paying close attention, you'll notice that I've given the front here a rustic aesthetic, which really works. And I mentioned having a grand vision for this place, and this, my friends, is not it. I thought the copper block might be like really impressive to use in this space, some big pillars of it going up to the ceiling, but no. It just looks awful, right? So my vision was to bring like mossy greenery into this area and have glowberry vines hanging down from the ceiling. We're going to have to revisit this idea, but we'll keep the glowberries for now. What we'll do one day is branch off a part of the base where it goes from this kind of palette into something more exotic with lots of greenery. We're going to go in the other direction. We are going to go into something more dusty. As we look down into the distance, you might be able to make out there is a lot of sandstone over here. So this will be lit in a more appealing way, and I plan on having some glowberry vines hang down from the ceiling, but that's the look I think we want to bring to this now. So our mangrove palette can easily work with this greenery, but I think it can also mix with some yellow and some sandiness, and so I'll have an entrance to a new sandy area down here in the middle. And currently I don't really have any plans for what would go there, but we need to get this room finished, which is an undertaking I'm almost done with. Yes, there is one more key component now. As you can see, the sandstone pillars are in on both sides, and as you may struggle to see, the entire ceiling is covered with mud. It is up there that I wish to hang glowberry vines down in front of these sandstone pillars, and I really think that will bring some amazing atmosphere to the room. But speaking of that, you might notice that the transition over here is looking pretty sweet. We found some interesting blocks that help you go from the packed mud over to the sand. One of those is the inside of a mushroom block, like a brown one when you place one on top of the other. And then we got the jungle wood over here, the stripped variety. So those two have sort of come into the mix and help make this transition from one texture to the other pretty well. Along with that, we have a similar repeat of the opposite end, like that part of the room down at this end to fill up the space with some leaves and pillars that are a little bit tricky to see, but that's because we're playing with the darkness, of course. And then over in this corner, we have a new contraption. And it's this chest right here that we need to load bone meal into. I was very tempted actually to hook up the hoppers on that side and sort of chain them round into this thing. That may end up being something that we do. But if we pop on inside, you can see that it's a glowberry farm. There is a dispenser back there activating these glowberries. And what we have to do is basically, hold down shift first of all, so you're underneath this slab, and then bob up and down in the water. Okay, so the reason we're like this is so that we move up and down between two glowberries really quickly, because the way to use this farm is just to hold down right click. So when I do that right here in the middle, it means we're sort of accessing two at once rather than one. This makes it basically faster. And I think I just ran out of bone meal in the one at the top. Let's see if we can actually get a tiny speed comparison thing going on for a second here. Got to make sure I'm picking up all the items. So that's when you're only hitting one, and then when you get it right in the middle... Does it go faster? I'll let you be the judge. I think it's slightly faster, not a crazy amount. So yes, that is my amazing bobbing glowberry farm. These things only emit light because of dynamic lighting, by the way. And before I get to placing this stuff off the mud so they can dangle down and bring some more atmosphere to this room, we've also got like a little redstone-y thing over on this side. However, this is just redstone lamps that will light up on occasion. And I was really hoping that they would light up while I'm talking. Come on, here's your chance. Are we going to light up? No? So here's the how and why of them lighting up. A cactus will go over and activate this redstone. That simply makes its way down, and then it powers these repeaters here. And then the observers pass the signal across into the lamps, and there, you're seeing it in action. So yeah, it just brings a little animation to the area. Occasionally we'll see those lamps firing up. So remember, we're here to hang some glowberries. I was inspired by lush caves. These look absolutely gorgeous in here. But there is somewhat of a problem with how I wanted to use this. They emit light, and basically way too much of it. And darkness is part of the vibe in this place. You can see we got glowberries, or maybe you can't because of YouTube video compression. The vines are hanging down, but they are absent of actual glowberries. If I am to head up top and just plant a couple of these, you'll probably figure out what the problem is pretty quickly with this. Now that they're lit up, we can see a big flat wall at the top of it. It's not the worst thing ever, I'll tell you that, but it doesn't feel like a lush cave. And so because of this, I need to get rid of all the berries up here. So we're left with the vines to preserve the darkness. The atmosphere is right, and initially I put down a lot more of these and then had to trim it back. So my idea didn't turn out quite as I wanted. Oh, and I also discovered something interesting. This pillar is apparently 6 blocks wide, and the rest of them are just 5 blocks. I was actually going to put some decorative patterns on this now, but that makes it super awkward unless I were to just slim it down and add some extra coal blocks. Anyways, this place does what we need it to do. It smelts items on demand. I am just now in need of a mental break, and at some point we'll be back here to see where my inspiration takes me in this direction. So I want to bring you up to speed on the latest TCG action. However, while we're here in the Nether, I thought I'd mention I've changed the storage here now. We've got a shulker box loader back there, so it can fully load up shulker boxes, which I can pinch out of this storage. I do not know who designed this. It was just sent to me on Twitter as a good design that's reliable. This right here will load up shulker boxes. And if we have a little bit of a closer look at this, we'll find some really interesting uses of redstone. This, for example, is fully powered, meaning that this one will be a signal strength less. And it's not until this comparator outputs a full signal strength that that changes, and you can put this side by side because it's never going to interfere with the next one across. So when the shulker box is full, it sends a signal up, it goes across, it pushes out the shulker box, and then when it comes back, it will dispense a new one down below. And then the rest of all of this is actually just an item filter, because we sort out the slime and the glow ink that comes through here into 2 of these different shulker boxes. And so far this design has been absolutely solid. I'm thinking of installing it at some other farms, like maybe our witch farm. And of course that means I'm going to need a lot more shulker boxes, so that's something to think about. For now though, it's time to go over my recent TCG games. The first of which was against none other than Wells Night. That's right, Beef's TCG game has brought Wells back onto the Hermitcraft server. And to jog your memory, last episode we set up a new deck type where we use our farming cards and our terracotta cards together, and I got to try it out against Wells. And if you're wondering what kind of deck I went up against, well, Wells let us have a look. This was his configuration for the match. And the match went exceedingly well, possibly down to a bit of luck, as I seemed to get a good draw of cards and Wells struggled to get going, and I ended up kind of trouncing him with a 3-0 victory. Okay, yeah, this is kind of cool. All right.
It's kind of cool, he says.
I'm just having a very good game, is all I can say, really. Move one of your item cards from your active hermit to another one. I think it makes sense to move to this impulse here, the one that's already got 2.
Impulse?
Yeah, that's that. And then obviously I'm going to do time skip for 90. But roll the dice. Green! It's green!
Oh, got lucky again. Okay, 160. Wells, you are not.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna scoop at this point. Like, I don't think there's any way that I can.
I'm surprised at how well this went. Like,
yeah,
I think
everything came up right for me. Oh yeah, I got to press the button, haven't I?
Yeah, I'm scooping.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Forfeit?
There's no way for me to come back.
So yeah, after knocking out 2 of Wells's hermits, he forfeited on the 3rd, and then we did a little bit of trading. We're gonna go Mumbo and Gem for 2 tangos and flint and steel.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, I can do that.
Is a deal.
Nice. So that gem though is gonna go into my deck because it will replace my common. So Scar getting replaced by Gem, and then we get the Gemini Slay ability. So, a great victory with our new deck, and also it's been upgraded with that trade. We now got 2 rares in the Terraformer type, and I've just brought myself a booster pack, and also an item card pack. And look at this, we've got 2 doubles, but just the wrong type. In fact, I only got 1 more farm. But that is superb. We now have 2 time skips to put in the deck. So we get to swap out Impulse and put in another Joe Hills. Our next game was against Rendog, who had quite a powerful deck. However, he had a suggestion to make things much fairer.
I imagine that maybe there is a way for us to do kind of like a handicap, right? Think about it this way, like a handicap. And the handicap is based on how many rare and ultra rares you have in your deck.
I see,
and
okay.
The rule is as follows. Both decks may only have as many rares and ultra rares as the deck with the least rares and ultra rares.
Right,
Does that make
so
sense?
yeah, we both count up and then we match.
Exactly. So if you have 5 rares, I can only have I can't have more than 5 rares.
Well, I got 9 rares and 1 ultra rare. That's it.
Okay. See this. Oh man, I'm telling you, dude. This method is actually kind of smart. I'm gonna pat myself on the back for this one.
I like this, Ren. Yeah, this is a great way to do it, I think.
And I'm ready to rumble, X. Are you ready, my friend? Let's do
I am
this thing,
absolutely ready. I'm really happy with how my deck has performed so far. Although I've only played 1 game with this configuration, but
okay, excellent.
it was good.
Excellent.
It was good. So you know, this second game with the deck, however, did not go so well. I got trounced. Maybe it was the bad luck of the draw, but I got a Tango card out. I couldn't get going. He got knocked out as I had Corrales on the bench, and it was pretty much over before it began. I've been thinking, let's get Corrales geared up so he can heal Tango and all of this. Tango's dead. There's no point in me putting extra items on Corrales, but I'll attack for 100. Not that it's really going to make much difference because I've got a sword. You know, I'm just, you know, maybe there's some amazing card I can get that changes the game. It's unlikely, but I'm going to try and hang in there.
Okay.
Yeah,
let's see
I have not got that card yet. Whatever it is. Well, all I can do really is heal Corrales to try and... Well, I mean, I'd do a 30, bring him up to 80, but then you're just going to knock him out next turn anyway, right?
Yeah.
I think that's it. I think that's
Yeah, that
GG.
looks like it's GG, right?
Yeah, that's GG. And I can't open my shulker box.
Unfortunately.
Oh,
Yeah.
lag spike. GG,
What's
Ren,
happening?
GG.
GG, my friend, GG. Killed by your own person. I mean, at least you can claim that, you took yourself out. I don't know if that's something to boast about, but,
So we've been trounced by Ren, however. I now have some more tokens for booster packs and the like. Wow, there is actually a lot of stuff that's sold out here. So I think it makes sense to get 2 booster packs. And let's see what we got. Where'd they go? They got... Ah! Lag spike! Aha! I see something good. Maybe from that, only one good card, like a farm double, goes straight into the deck. And then our rares are PvP and Explorer, which don't really synergize, so... Maybe only got one extra good card out of that. So sadly, it is slow goings for me. I'm struggling to build up a bunch of cards, but I'll continue to play, and I'll bring you up to speed time to time. Right now, though, I need to bring you up to speed on something else, and we need to do some investigation. I've been really curious to find out what on earth is going on here, because no one has fallen for the anvil trap. I can even hear pistons and stuff firing. Now, also, if we look up there, it's a lot higher than it was before. This is because I realized after I set this trap up that the anvils weren't set up high enough. So I came over here, and where the original sign was, we've now got a pillar of them going up way, way higher. I mean, this is possibly overkill right now. I still can't see the anvils. Yeah, so dropping from up the top there, that should really do it for whoever's down below. The only problem is, no one's been killed over here yet. And the hermits have been playing, so we need to do some careful investigation. This makes absolutely no sense to me. Unless pistons can't push signs, this should fully activate. I don't see why it's not. Okay, this works. Look what happens when I flip a page. Like, why? Why? Maybe this was somehow bugged out, and me coming down here and digging these things out has fixed it, because this wire will go all the way to that piston up top. I am just gonna have to leave this now and hope that it works next time. Okay, so we've investigated, and now I need to update you as to what the scores that the hermits have so far is. Okay, I could have sworn more hermits have played than this, but it looks like Cub is just about in the lead. I'm gonna have to give everyone a nudge again to come over here and play. Remember, there's a whole box of oxidized copper blocks on the line. And for the last part of this episode, we're going to meet up with Mumbo, because I had an idea for a YouTube short, which is a 1-minute vertical video, and of course so much more funny stuff happened around that. So you're going to see all of that, and I'll encourage you to go watch the short as well. Hello?
I'm here. I'm up on the
You're here?
bridge. I'm up on the bridge.
I'm on the bridge. Oh! There you are. What a great landing.
How's it going? Yeah, that was pretty impressive. That looked good.
Yeah, I did
Good.
not see you until I looked up, and then it was like, oh, okay, landed in the right spot. So, I had an idea for a short, right? Shorts are a big thing on YouTube, and
Yep.
I have this great idea, and you're the perfect person for it.
Right. Okay.
And I want to tell you as little as possible about what we're about to do, okay?
Okay.
How many questions can you answer incorrectly in 45 seconds?
How many questions can I answer incorrectly in 45 seconds? So whatever question you ask, I have to just give the wrong answer.
You've got it. Okay, you ready? Oh wait, I need a
Okay.
clock. I'm so unprepared.
I also didn't know if that was a trick question because I feel like I answered your first question correctly.
Okay.
You asked me if I got it and I said yes.
It could have been a trick question, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
That was me clearly explaining. I want to make sure you know, because this is funnier when you understand like what the point of the game is. Okay, right.
Okay.
I'm gonna hit the start button. You got 45 seconds, and I'm
scared,
gonna
yep.
hit it when I start talking. You ready?
Wow, that's the hardest game I've ever played.
Oh wow.
Normally I don't struggle to answer questions incorrectly, but then as soon as I'm told that I have to, it
Yeah.
becomes much more difficult.
It's really weird because you could literally just say, I don't know, blue. You know, who's
I
next
know.
to join Hermitcraft? Blue. It works
Yeah, I
for
went
almost
for-
every, unless your favourite colour is blue. Is your
I went
favourite
for
colour
President
brown?
Biden. No.
Okay,
I can't
good.
believe I said President Biden was going to be the next person on Hermitcraft. That's a bizarre. I don't even know where that
I mean,
came from.
he's a person that everyone's aware of, so it's not surprised you. You know, I'd be
guess
more
so.
concerned if you picked someone you'd never met and never heard their name before.
That's true. That's
Then
true.
I'd be like, that's some voodoo magic going on right there. Okay.
That was challenging. That got my heart rate way up. I don't even know why I found that so difficult.
I think your score was 7, by the way.
Okay, is that good?
I don't know, because I haven't done this with anyone else. So as I do it with more hermits, then I'll find out what's a good and a bad score, right?
That's fair enough. I mean, yeah, cool. All right, speak to you soon.
Yeah,
see
see
you
you
later.
around, Mumbo. Take care. After I met with Mumbo, I also met up with Doc to give him some ink sacks for a project he's working on, and of course I took the opportunity to play this game with Doc as well. So there'll be another short coming your way soon, and the Mumbo one will be linked in the description box down below. So please do go check it out. It was absolutely hilarious, and we will do a few more of these with the Hermits when and where I can. So be on the lookout for those shorts. But that's it from me this episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon with another one. Bye bye.